if I had one redo for my canon, be it record or movie, I wish I could redo Creative Quest now because, what happened to me, like everything you're speaking now is my wheelhouse. But I didn't start thinking in that metaphysical frame of mind until 2020.
Was that during COVID when you're DJing?
Yes. All of my creativity pre-2020 more or less came from a fight or flight point of view.
Yeah.
Where, I've been working since the age of 5.
Yeah.
As you said, yes, I grew up in a musical household. My dad was a 50s doo-wop singer. And by the 70s, he had his turnaround period of nostalgia. They didn't believe in babysitters, so sort of I got tricked into the family business. Same as if my dad.
I heard you got trained into how to run lights and replace gels, and you're 11 years old running the lights for your dad's show.
Yeah, like I could, by the age of 12, I could iron, clean, navigate direction, do monitors, rehearse the band, all those things by the age of 12. And then one night, dad's drummer gets in an accident. He's like, all right, well, you know the show. You know how to drum. And through me, it was like, oh, my son's 12. I don't have to pay him the same price that, I can pay him 75% less. So I'm thinking, I'm the richest fourth grader ever I was making like in 1979, I believe I was making somewhere between 250 to like 350 a week. So, I had the best bikes and mostly just spend it on records and save for your college education. But I've yet to see that money. The whole point is that, everything was more fight or flight. So it's kind of some divine will that I still.
When you say fight or flight, do you mean like deprivation? Am I going to have enough? Is the roots going to be prosperous enough? How are we going to ultimately pay the bills? Or we keep touring? Is it kind of like?
So the thing is that
fear-based?
Always fear-based. So the thing is that my dad's like, you're going to be a classically trained musician. There's something about Black people from my dad's era, born in the late 30s, 40s, 50s, boomers. They're very big on like respectability politics, classical music. Like, you'll work for hopefully the London, Philharmonic, and you could make $250,000 a year or $300,000 a year. Like that's the dream he was selling me. And so one weekend, he wanted me to go to Curtis.
Sure.
Curtis
in Philadelphia.
Right. Mm-hmm. Curtis Institute, or Juilliard or the New School. And so I auditioned my Juilliard New School audition weekend. I went up to New York for the weekend, stayed at a friend's crib. Tariq, my partner in the Roots, is also with me. Coming back from that audition, we're on a train back to Philly. And kind of like the hood version of the Grey Poupon commercial or the last scene in Dumb and Dumber. The world's most beautiful woman comes up and it's like, excuse me, aren't you you're the drummer in that Spike Lee Levi's commercial, right? And I was like, no, I'm not. And she was like, oh, okay. She turns around and walks off the train and Tariq's like, you did it, that's right. And I was like, well, I'm not the guy. And, da-da-da-da. And so the next day, we crash out at my parents' crib. We crash out. And next day, Saturday afternoon, Soul Train's on. And that Spike Lee commercial comes on. And it's a kid playing the bucket drums. And that was like, it was 1992, so the concept of busking or even someone playing drumsticks with a bucket for money, that was like a new concept.
Yeah.
And
do you remember Bring on the Noise, Bring on the Funk? Because that was same time.
Very much like that.
That show spawned out of the street performers and bucket drummers,
And so kind of like a joke that it was like Doc Brown with the flex capacitor thing. Like we both like looked at the television and then we slowly looked at each other like, yo, she thought that was, why don't we just do that? And so literally.
How old are you?
This was 92. I just turned 21.
Okay.
So this is like 3 years out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
I was working an insurance job to save up for college. Like my one gap year turned into 3 gap years because it was a like really good insurance paying job. But anyway, so we're going to South Street in Philadelphia, and we set up, and it's like, what do we do? I don't know, just play something. I'll start rapping. So we started playing something, and 2 people turned into 6 people, turned into 12, 20. So the thing is that if we don't make over $100, we make like $110 in a 3-hour period, which to us was like, we're rich. Like,
yeah.
That's date night money. You know, we could.
Yeah. It's tax-free. Hello.
Yeah. And so literally it's like, if we don't make $110, we're not doing it again next week. It's just.
You had a number in your mind.
Yeah.
And you hit it.
Well, I mean, I didn't have it in mind, but it like to be like, here's your, you know, your $55. And I'm instantly thinking like, okay, this is enough for 3 dates and maybe 4 hoagies. And like, we have it all planned. And it's like, do we do this next week? He's like, hell yeah, we doing this next week. And so literally from that Saturday in June of 92, winds up maybe a year later turning into a record deal with Geffen Records.
The Soul Boom Podcast. Subscribe now on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else you get your stupid podcasts.